Thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Making Sense, where we talk about our finances, our financial institutions, the current trends, and what's on the horizon as well. We're joined by Justin Wolf from Forest Area Federal Credit Union. Justin, thanks so much for joining us. All right, today we are talking about mobile banking, branch banking, and which one may be the best for individual customers at individual times, right? So what trends are you seeing when it comes to how consumers are doing their banking?
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole idea for tonight's topic was just to talk about the different ways we can accomplish and get our banking done, accomplish our banking needs. So when it comes to trends, what can we do? We can go into a brick and mortar building. We can visit that bank or credit union branch. Heck, a lot of times the supermarket even has a bank or credit union branch right inside them. So you can always visit in person, right? And then there's online banking, mobile banking. Some people might be saying, what's the difference between online and mobile? Well, it's kind of the same in the sense that it's all happening over the internet, right? But mobile banking is really what we're doing usually on our mobile devices, our cell phones. And the trends that we've seen over the years, probably no surprise, is that more and more people are using these electronic methods of conducting their banking business. And we can certainly see that in our own shop as well. The number of transactions that are actually occurring in branch per member are declining, but they're skyrocketing when you look at our online banking and our mobile banking engagement. And for a number of years, what we were seeing is that trickle off, or that the runoff out of the branches and the online banking. Believe it or not, we can tell the difference whether or not one of our members is using online banking or mobile banking. We can tell the difference. And early on, years ago, the online banking was just soaring right up, and then the mobile apps became more popular, and we're all carrying these smartphones or using tablet devices. And now we're seeing that it specifically in our credit union, that the online banking is still very prominent. People are using it a lot, but that's starting to run off a little bit. But the mobile banking aspect, the stuff that people are doing on their phones and mobile devices, is just skyrocketing. It's just so easy. It's right there at your fingertips almost at all times. So that's what's happening. As far as trends are concerned, what we're seeing specifically is we're still handling about the same number of transactions in our physical locations, even though there's more traffic online and mobile. But the reason that it's just kind of staying steady in our branches is we're gaining more members. More people are doing business with us. And that's what any business wants, right? Is to, gain more and more customers over time. So we're remaining pretty level in total transactions in person, but that's because we have more people doing them also. So definitely the trend, it's online and mobile banking is where most of the activity takes place now.
And I'm sure that there's good reasons for that. The apps have gotten better, right? The online, it's gotten easier and everything like that. We've also trusted a lot more things to do through our phones. As we've started to realize they're secure. So the apps have gotten better. We've gotten used to that. But certainly there are still some times where you want to walk through a physical door and talk face to face for a physical person, especially when it comes to our money. So I don't think that part will ever go away, but I'm not surprised to see that trend. All right. So when it comes to our online and our mobile banking, what can we do?
Well, the list has grown over the years. In fact, I know here tonight, somebody's going to be watching and say he missed a couple, and you're going to be right, because it is incredible the amount of business you can conduct on your mobile device or online. We all know this. You can go in, you can check your balance. You can view images of your statements. You can research transactions. You can pay your bills. You can make your loan payments. You can apply for a new loan, a new mortgage, right in your online or mobile app. You can deposit a check if you're still getting paper checks, which, by the way, the overall usage of paper checks is declining dramatically across the nation. But if you do have a paper check, you can do a remote deposit right with your cell phone. Transfer money between accounts. open those new accounts, certificates of deposits, anything you need. You can connect directly with your financial institution. I mean, I don't know if there's a mobile app out there now that there isn't a button that says chat now, text now, call now, even engage in a virtual transaction with some credit unions and banks. We happen to offer that, where you can talk face to face, just like you and I are right now, Mark. You can conduct your bank transactions that way. Then we're really starting to see the industry break into some other cool things. You can there's budgeting applications, tools, and features in many of these online and mobile apps to help you self-manage your money. We're hearing a lot of that. People want to self-drive what they're doing with their finances, so we give them their tools. But they also want to know that they can connect with their bank or credit union to ask questions when they have them. You can, in many cases, some banks and credit unions will offer the option to engage in certain type of investment activities, including purchase of cryptocurrencies. That's out there now. You can get involved in that. Many institutions offer a free credit score check. You can see where your credit score stands, and it's right there in your online banking. We see this with many credit card companies. If you're logging into your credit card account online, they're posting your credit score there for you to see, and you can track it. So really, there's probably many more that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but in many cases, short of actually getting physical cash or coins in your hand or handing over cash and coins, it's really come down to where you can do almost all of those things in an online mobile app or virtual banking experience these days.
Well, and I considered it a success when I learned how to pay bills through my mobile app. I can't imagine applying for a mortgage, but that convenience of being able to do it on my time and not the proverbial banker's hours joke, right? Like I can do it when I want to do it. So if it's Saturday afternoon and I want to delve into that, all that's available right there. All right. So the list of what you can do is massive. Is the only thing you can't really do is touch hard currency, like cash?
It really is, and there are still certain things that happen in our lives that maybe we need cash. And of course, the ATM machines are there, our physical locations are there. Come see us for those. Or maybe you need that cashier's check or the money order. Or you really maybe have a problem or think you might have a problem, and you just need that reassurance of talking one-on-one with somebody at your financial institution. That's when you're really going to have to think about, do I need to make a visit over to that physical location? But again, I would encourage people to look and see if your financial institution has a virtual meeting platform such as we do, because that's been a great way to conduct a lot of that business also. And when you can do that, you can do it from generally wherever you're at in the world. If you have a connection on that device, you can generally connect with your financial institution and take care of business.
We trust our phones for a lot of things, and our mobile devices for a lot of things. And online is online and mobile banking secure?
Yeah, it's a great question, and something that's often on a lot of people's minds, especially when they're thinking about using one of these services for the first time. And I won't stand here and claim to be a fraud expert by any means. We have other people in our shop that are far better at that than I am. But here's my experience. Fraud is out there. We need to be aware of it. We need to safeguard all of our personal information and sensitive information. By and large, I'm going to tell you that the online and mobile banking experiences are secure. That doesn't mean we still have to be careful, of course. When it comes to debit cards and credit cards and check fraud, we're seeing a lot of that happening, and it happens outside of our control. These fraudsters are getting that information from sources that are outside of our control many times. When it comes to the online banking and mobile banking experience, the number one cause of fraudulent activity is when the account owner didn't safeguard their login information. It's, you know what, usernames and passwords. I mean, I know we all know this. Keep them private. Don't put them on a sticky note under your keyboard. That's one of the worst places to put it. You need to safeguard that stuff, because when we do experience fraud that occurs through one of those channels, it's almost always because the account owner compromised their login information or made it too easily available to somebody else. And often that somebody else is somebody that's fairly close to them, that the information was laying around. So we definitely use multiple different ways of trying to help our account holders protect themselves against that. But that is one of the number one causes we see, that their login information's compromised locally.
And don't use the same password for absolutely everything. I'm guilty as charged on a lot of things
That's
like that.
right.
At least with your money,
Mhm.
use a different password. Like, whoop, we're just there. Justin just lost you for a second, but you're back. It's one thing to have somebody get access to your Netflix account. It's another thing to get access to all of your money. Okay, so what is virtual banking? This is not something that I don't think I'm familiar with this. So explain what that is.
Yeah, well, virtual banking can be done in a few different ways, but just think about a Zoom telephone call, much like we're on right now. Although I'm not sure if my image is coming up right now.
We can still hear you, Justin.
Okay, perfect. What we're seeing, and actually we're utilizing in our credit union, is a virtual banking experience where you can connect face to face through a video conference. Okay. Such as this, with someone right here in our organization. You can open accounts. You can do all the same things that you could in branch. We conduct loan closings. You can get a car loan that way. You can do all of these things. You can dispute charges on your debit card. You can open brand new accounts and memberships. You could come to us as a non-account holder and talk to us for the very first time and still open that up. And we've found, and there are other banks and credit unions utilizing this technology. It's been fantastic. We have people doing their banking on their break, during their lunch hour, from the beach, while they're on vacation, and they get that opportunity to connect directly with us. So it's been fantastic. If your financial institution offers it, I highly encourage you to give it a try. It's been our membership has really had great feedback for us on having that as a way to connect.
It kind of feels like a hybrid of you're still doing this online and mobile and convenient for you and when you want to do it, but you still get to talk to that person. You still get to have some of that same experience that many people want or need by actually walking into a bank. This is kind of somewhere in between, where you're not talking to a robot, or you're not doing something digitally that you know how to do. But if you actually want to talk to a person, this is a way to do it without actually having to get in your car or even be in the same state or near the location of the branch. It's a good hybrid.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the way we're using it. We're employing and staffing that method with our own team members right here based out of Fife Lake, Michigan. Not outsourcing that. The people you talk to are the same people that are right here in the community. And for us, that's been really huge. And it's great. We found that our team has been able to establish relationships with our members almost in the exact same way that they would if they were in person. We have our members, they call back in, they talk to or request the same people. They can even select who they'd like to talk to that day right on the screen. It's been pretty cool. And the amount of efficiency that it provides for the account holder, just knowing that you don't have to make that drive if you don't want to, and possibly wait in line or wait for the next, loan officer or account representative to be available. We're working hard to keep those things staffed so that wait times for virtual banking are relatively short, and just get you taken care of.
That is super nice. All right. So we talked a little bit about the importance of passwords, good passwords, private passwords, unique passwords, but that's not the only way that we can have a lot of confidence and faith in our security when it comes to our online and mobile devices. There's also multi-factor authentication and things like biometrics. What are those for people that may not understand, and how do they boost our security?
Well, yeah, there's a number of different ways you can utilize multi-factor authentication. And in the financial industry, we have to be looking at what's out there and how are the fraudsters breaking it down this time and all of that. But yeah, you have your username and password. That's the typical just let me in stuff. Multi-factor is something in addition to that. Many of us, we use security questions, what street did you grow up on? Those types of things. You get to select the question, select the answer. Many of our smartphones now are using fingerprints or facial recognition. That is integrated into many of these mobile apps as well, so that you can utilize that to get in addition to your username and password. Other things, I know I see it on a lot of accounts that I use outside of banking related accounts, where you go to log in and they want to confirm. They send you a text message to your cell phone, the number you have on record. That's another form of multi-factor authentication. So those types of things, we're going to continually keep an eye on them. And, sometimes, especially if it's a new one, I know that I've felt that it's burdensome when there's just one more thing I have to do in order to get logged in. But I tell you what, it's worth taking the time to get acquainted with those methods and utilize them in the name of keeping your information secure.
All right. So this question, I think I know the answer. It's kind of like, which one is your favorite child? What banking method then is best? Is it online, virtual, or in person?
Yeah. So here's my answer. Use them all, because it's really what is best for any one account holder. You know what? If you're that person that wants to do your banking in person, go see your financial institution in person. You're going to have the best experience because that's what you prefer. If you're on the go and you're really not a talker, you just want to get the business done, use that online mobile app, use virtual banking, whatever needs your schedule. My perspective on this side of the table is we need to be able to deliver these services to account holders in the way they want to receive them. And, there's fintechs out there that have gone all digital, they're all mobile, they're all online, they don't have brick and mortar. And then you have places like our local banks and credit unions that do all of it. So that's our perspective. What we actually hear from many of our account holders is they want us to have a branch in their community, but they only want to come visit it maybe once or twice a year. Besides that, they want to do everything, with the technology, because it's quick, it's easy, it's efficient. So that's I think that's pretty much what you're going to see as a common thread from especially across the northern Michigan region here with our local banks and credit unions. We're striving to be able to deliver their service in all of the ways that meets our account holders' needs. And so I think we're doing pretty good at it too, across the board up here as financial institutions in northern Michigan.
Well, and I think it's kind of one of those things where we as customers expect to be able to do everything now on our phones, or at least have contact with our phones and everything like that. But you still want that luxury. The customers kind of come to expect that now.
Yeah.
And we've been doing online and mobile and virtual long enough, and it's ingrained, especially in the younger folks, it's ingrained that this is how you do it. And it's evolved and come so far that now it is easy, it is reliable, it is secure, and it's expected. So however you do your banking, but there is, it sounds like, a way that anybody can get however they want to have that done, whenever they want to have it done, wherever they want to have it done. Check, because your financial institution may be able to meet all those needs. Is that accurate?
Right. Yeah, that is right.
All right, Justin. Hey, I appreciate your time today. Next time, we're going to see more of that lovely face of yours.
Yeah. Well, I'll make sure I get with IT on that.
Okay. Justin, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. If you want to check out any of our topics, all of these are archived on our website and our YouTube page. So if you want to go back and watch any of our topics or learn more, you certainly can check it out there. Justin, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks, Mark. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.